Well, good evening. It is Saturday, January the 27th. I've had a little bit of a change in plans of my day today. I was called into work and finally got around to sitting down and recording this video. We're going straight into the King James Bible, the book of Genesis. And as this is Saturday, January the 27th, we're on chapter 27, one chapter a day. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau, his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. And he said, Behold now, I am old, and I know not the day of my death. Now therefore, take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow. Go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me a savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison, and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched, and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thou may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and the nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? He said, I am thy son, thy firstborn, Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. And yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me even also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of the heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass that when thou shalt serve, have the dominion, and thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of my mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau did her elder son were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise. Flee thou to Laban my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days, until thy brother's fury turn away, until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these, which are the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me? Wow. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult to see and understand what's going on here, except that we know that Isaac, who was blessed by Abraham, gave his blessing to Jacob. It seems kind of cruel, but Jacob was the intended line that God wanted. And of course, we've got to remember that Esau forsook his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of food. These things meant little to him at the time, except for his own nourishment, his own earthly desires. And that probably is a good reflection upon why God didn't choose the line of Esau, instead chose Jacob instead. It's kind of hard to see, but you can start to piece together God's plan, the lineage that God is establishing through Jacob, from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. That's about all that it says to me right now. It's very detailed, and I'm sure that there's a lot more in there that a good pastor could pull out and probably make a lot of sermons out of. But all I'm seeing at the moment is that God is establishing this line and that he's in charge. And that the deception, as weak as it may have been, was sufficient in Isaac's old and probably decrepit and half-blind state. It was sufficient to fool him and to give his blessing to Jacob. But notice how it's also a question of honor, in that once the blessing had been given to Jacob, even though he found out that Jacob had deceived him, the blessing could not be made invalid. It's kind of like a covenant. A covenant cannot be made invalid. A covenant is holy and cannot be broken. It's not like a promise or a contract, an earthly promise or contract which can be gotten out of. The blessing is holy, a covenant is holy, and these things stand and they cannot be changed. And you would think to yourself nowadays, the father would turn around and say, hey, come on, Jacob, you deceived me, Therefore, in your deception, you have proved to be invalid. But it doesn't. He was given the blessing. And Isaac honored that and the blessing. And further than that, he says to Esau, you're going to have to submit to your brother. Of course, you can see that Esau's heart is very bitter, that he turns around and he says, the moment Dad's gone, I'm going to kill my brother. I mean, that's not a good heart. So you can see God has chosen wisely in which lineage that should be established and followed, and it is through Jacob. These are the mysteries of God. Sometimes we can't, now we can look. Now, those of us that have read the story and know further on, we know that these things are going to come to fruition. But at the time, this was a case of just trusting in God and God's plan. And the takeaway from that for us is that even though we may not understand where something is going or why things are happening, that as long as you walk with God, that he's in charge and he's guiding you to a certain point in your life to achieve something according to his will. It's your purpose. And therefore, even though you can't see it, even though you can't fathom it out, and it doesn't make rhyme or reason or sense or anything else, and it's contradictory to what your earthly mind and fleshly mind and body are saying should be, just submit. Just give it all to God and say, I know you're in charge. I know this is for my good. And then just see what happens. See those blessings flow. I can bear testament to that when you do submit, the blessings come. And sometimes they're small, but they are blessings, and they're uplifting. And really, they're bigger than you truly imagine. And he does that because he loves you. And I love you too. Thank you for listening. And please remember that come the 1st of February, I will no longer be on Facebook. My links are published in the comments to the YouTube page, and it's very easy to follow. Again, thank you for listening. Bye for now, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.